one revolution.
Bookmarklets on standby.
Log online, fan page loaded and ready.
Player stats, loaded. Health check, go.
Weapons check. Eyes check. Complete.
We have launched for the Informant podcast in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to this episode of the Informant podcast, your news source for information regarding Mafia Wars from Zynga. I'm Pistol Pete from Spockholm.
Live long and prosper.
I have with me tonight the regular cast and crew. We have Mig, Chainsaw Chester, Jana, Mig, Death by Gucci, and Jennifer, the Mafia Wars lady. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing fantastic.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
You're like
Good.
a road warrior without being on the road, aren't you, Chester?
Oh, man. I just got back from Sao Paulo, Brazil. So to all of you Brazilians that are out there, hi.
Party on, Chester Scott.
Didn't even attempt to try to speak in their native language this time, right?
Oh, it's
Hi.
buona noche. Bom dia. Depending on what time you listen, I was trying to figure out right then, do I do morning, afternoon, or night? So it'll probably be morning, so bom dia. Or if it's nighttime when you listen, since you're about 4 hours ahead of when we post this, buona noche.
Very good.
And amigas. So for all of you who did not know, Jennifer, the Mafia Wars Loot Lady, had a birthday. Was it Saturday or was it Friday?
It was Friday.
So it was Friday. So everybody,
Yay!
happy birthday to her.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you very much, because Jennifer, her birthday is not listed on her page, so it doesn't come up on your page that it's her birthday, so you just have to know that.
It's for security reasons.
Exactly.
That's right.
So, happy
And I
birthday.
don't want people to know I'm a year older.
It happens every year.
We'll never know that you were a
If
year
you don't put it on your Facebook page, then you stay the same age.
Well, in Mafia Wars years, I'm sure we're like 162 or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're old.
Yeah, Mafia Wars, it's got to be like dog years.
Pretty much.
Worse. It might be worse than dog years.
So what's gone on, Jennifer? I see my homepage here on Mafia Wars has changed finally.
Yes, they're slowly rolling it out, and most of us have it now. So I was able to play with it. And there is a forum board thread that looks like the majority of players do not like it. The things I think people are complaining about is they missed that player update that was in the lower left-hand corner. You can't see that anymore from the homepage, but they added a link for it. It used to be in the upper right, but they put at the bottom, looking for your player updates, click here. So you can get to them. And there is a module called the Your Mafia Activity, and it will list the last 4 things in your player update stream. So you can see like who attacked you, who needs help, who has war help requests, things like that. But there's only going to be 4 of them showing at a time. But there's many options to get to player updates. You have your beta live updates that you can get to from the header on top of that big M, and then you can go to the player updates.
Yeah, and the player updates are actually in the My Mafia section.
Right, and you can get to them that way too, or you can click that link at the bottom, which is quicker.
Yeah, well, they'll probably ditch that link at the bottom once people get used to it. So just remember to go to your My Mafia.
Right.
The Build Your Empire module there's 4 areas, and you can actually build your properties, your buildable items from the module. The only problem I see is it features 1 item, and it'll be the highest item you can build. So like for my armory, I can build the power armor, but
I think it's okay that when it's available for you to build, it shows you the top 1. And then there's a link there that also says see all items or see all.
See,
Okay.
this is literally my first time to even see it as we've been talking about it.
So what's this limited time item?
Okay, the limited time item is going to be something permanent, and it's going to be like a mini gifting event. So when that item shows up, you have to unlock it. So for the Patriot, we had to accept 20 engines to unlock the ability to craft it. And then it requires 5 parts after that. And the limited time items will be out for 2 weeks. When the timer runs out, a new item will be available, in one of the buildable properties.
Okay.
And the Patriot's pretty good. It's 8 points higher in defense than the Foo Fighter, which is our best giftable item.
How long do we have still on the Patriot?
We have 10 days from right now. So by tomorrow, it'll be 9 days.
So can you only get it once?
You can get it multiple times. You can only build it when your Chop Shop is available. It's a Chop Shop item.
Once every 18 hours. Or you can use reward points. I don't really care for the special abilities on it. It's 2+ defense. And I think people need to be aware that when you build these items, you're not really looking at how good of a weapon it is, because I guarantee you it will become outdated in the future. So you want to focus on the special abilities. Like, how many skill points is crafting this item going to add to your character? So in the Chop Shop, there's better items that build more defense if you're going for defense, or there's the Rebel, which will add 6 to your stamina. So I think people need to focus on those rather than the statistics of the item. And the other thing people are complaining about is they think that the daily take is not available anymore, which, remember, in the message box, you could collect your daily take. Well, that's in the upper right-hand corner of one of the modules, the My Mafia Activity module, but it will not show up if you've already collected your daily take for the day. So you just have to be patient and it will show up. And then the last thing people don't like is they say there's a lot of flash involved, but I don't think there's any, and hopefully Pete can elaborate on that because he's the computer guy.
Yeah, I haven't seen any flash on it so far. It's just all been links and scripts.
Yep. What appears to be the motion that's happening on the top section that shifts from your Mafia activity to the next thing is all done using jQuery, which is JavaScript. There's no flash on the homepage now, folks. At least for now.
The only issue I have, Zynga, if you actually listen to the show, pop-ups. Keep pissing me off with the pop-ups. Please, God. If I wanted to save 30% on my auto insurance, I'd go to Geico or some shit like that. I just don't need any more pop-ups, okay? We get pop-ups for surveys. We get pop-ups for Geico insurance where it's easier for cavemen to do it.
Don't give them ideas.
Yeah, no, stop.
I mean, here I am trying to play the game and clicking on things, and this chick comes up wanting to know if I want to get more friends. No. I've
Build
got
a stronger
2,000
Mafia.
something frickin' friends.
Mafia
How
Wars
many
so
more
easy
do
a
I
caveman
need?
can do it.
Yeah.
And then he can
That should
develop
be the
carpal
logo.
tunnel syndrome.
Well, we all know how to find the Godfather points if we want to buy them. We all know how to add people to our Mafia if we want to. These are not tough things to figure out as part of this game, so it is really overly redundant to punish us with a pop-up every time you load Mafia Wars and then having 16 of them open at the same time. I miss the days of when you were doing jobs and you found a secret stash and it just opened in a little box just above where the job posts, instead of opening up in a brand new pop-up window that you have to deal with. I wish they'd bring those days back.
I don't mind it when we're doing something and where you're doing a job and it says, 2x mastery, you want to click on one of these people and send it to them. I think that's cool.
And it stays there so you can do it when you're finished with your... I don't like interrupting my flow. I like to keep clicking.
Exactly.
I think we need to give this homepage thing a little time to get used to, like Pete said. Remember when the Facebook homepage changed and we couldn't find anything and everyone freaked out and I hate it, but now I don't even remember the old way.
Exactly. So once you get used to it, we'll move on.
Yeah,
Sorry?
talking about making things easier. Pete, what do you got going on in the Spockholm world?
Here's the 2 things that I got to talk about this week. One is that you just mentioned about fixing things. We spent a lot of time this week fixing up some of the bookmarklets at Spockholm. So things like the crafty little helper, which is the utility that you use to build your items from one screen. So even the changes that they've now made on the homepage require you to move from page to page to page to build or craft your items in the Pirate Zoo. Is that what you call it? The Pirate Zoo, the Chop Shop, and the Armory and so on. The crafty little helper just loads up as one little bookmarklet, and it gives you drop-down items to choose what the items are that you wish to craft, and then you run it, and then it goes ahead and builds those items for you from one little bookmarklet. So that was fixed this week because several things happened when they released the private zoo. First, we had to add it, and then secondly, we had a case of that they changed some naming conventions. So instead of saying you got this or you've been given this item, they've changed some words around, so we've had to accommodate for that. So that was, and there's some other bookmarklets this week we spent some time with too. Lincolnator and Getnator got some minor updates to handle some stuff with some of the changes of the new items and things that were coming out, specifically with the private zoo. So that was, pretty good. I know a lot of people now are using the Lincolnator and Getnator to build up their zoo. So that's, good to know. So. And what was the other thing? Oh, this week, the other one thing that I'd like to talk about is, and I don't talk about it much because to me, I've been doing it so long and it becomes kind of self-explanatory, I think, but there's so many people that are now just getting used to using bookmarklets for the first time. How do I start? Where do I go? What do I need to find? What is a bookmarklet? And so a bookmarklet is just a piece of code that sits within a bookmark within your browser. So where you would normally, bookmark google.com or your favorite sports site or whatever else, that just stores as an address. So an HTTP, blah, 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 MOB.com or something like that. What we do is we put the JavaScript code in that address field. And what it does is it tells the browser that when it runs, use this code, and then we write the HTML and stuff like that kind of embeds itself over the top of parts of the game so that you can use them for certain different things. So that's basically what the bookmarklet is all about, is just little pieces of code that go in and do this kind of activity. Now, they've gotten pretty advanced over time that they're more than just, a simple, well, click one item and be done. I mean, obviously, if you look at some of the bookmarklets that have been written, Brawler by Aaron or, Stream Helper by Martin and some of these others, they get pretty elaborate, and there's a lot of things that can happen on a page. If you want to find out where bookmarklets are, you can go to facebook.com/Mafia Tools, and that's the Spockholm wall. And we have a link there to the Spockholm site, which we have several different pages of bookmarklets. There's the experimental page, which is just basically stuff that we're giving it a try, see if it works, and if it takes, and it's something that can continue to be built on, then it'll eventually make its way onto what we call the testing page, which is kind of like a...
So that one's the Frankenstein page, right?
It is. I mean, and there are some truly horrific, scary kind of bookmarklets there that if, we try it, and if it works and sticks, then it moves on to what we call the beta testing page, which is kind of like pre-release. And then we have a stable page. Now, there's one exception to all that.
Is that where you keep the horses?
Yes,
for our pirate zoo. Yeah.
Is that where all my unicorns went?
So where all your unicorns went. Yeah. So what we do is we have also one extra page, which is called the external links page. And actually, because when I started working with Martin, he had already had established Spockholm, almost all my bookmarklets end up, that I've just written by myself, that I host by myself, is actually shows up on that external bookmarklets page. So you kind of want to check through all sections of those. And then we have links on the website too to other people's bookmarklets, because we appreciate everything that everyone that writes in the script writing community does. So if you've written a bookmarklet that has value to the community and you want it published, we'll certainly, include your links on our page. So there's stuff there from back when the days when the Dirty Martini group were around, and they wrote some bookmarklets that now found their way on our external page because they pulled out of the community for a bit. Blofeld's Analyzer. So
and Joica.
And Joica bookmarklets which is the Energy Experience bookmarklet, and he's actually the one that wrote the original Business Helper that I modded when back in the day when rackets were available in the game to some players, and then I kind of kept it going afterwards. So, but yeah, there's been some great bookmarklets that have come from a lot of different people, and I talked about on the last show in my shout out to Ike Meyer about the modification that he made to the loose slots. So all good stuff. These are great little tools that help just make the game a little bit better, make things a little bit easier, and let you move along through the game. So anyway, that's kind of all I got today.
Cool.
If anybody has any questions.
I have a question for you. I received an email this weekend, and I asked you about it originally. I have a friend that's having trouble with their Mac running Spockholm. And you told me to ask them if they were running Chrome or Firefox, and they are, but they say it keeps breaking on them. Is there any advice I can give to someone?
Either one of them should work just fine with our bookmarklets. And I speak from experience because most of the time I use Firefox on a Mac, and I work exclusively on a Mac. So I know that most of the bookmarklets work. If they're running into a specific bookmark acting up, then just post to the discussion board.
We're going to cut away for a commercial, and we'll be right back.
It might be Santa coming to talk about the 12 Days of Christmas. Because we've got the 12 Days of Christmas event coming up at the Informant podcast.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Look at me, I'm riding high in Santa's sleigh. It's a Christmas special time for me. Oh, shut up, Cartman!
When is that starting?
It's going to start on December 13th, and it's going to run through the December 24th. And on each day, we've got a set of prizes. We're going to pick a winner each day, and we've got a bunch of stuff given away. We got 100 rangefinder rifles. We've got the Pantheon Trophies collection, championship belt collection, some Goldsmobiles, and then when we start getting closer to Christmas, we're going to give away a diamond set, and then a lotto set, and then a $15 Mafia Wars gift card, and then a gift card and a lotto set.
All right, we're back on the Informant podcast. Next up, we have The Family Life with Migs, Chainsaw Chester. Hey, I hear you've been air hogging.
I have been air hogging. That's my job, and I'm sticking to it.
And you do it so well.
Yes, and in this episode, I just want to jump right in. We've got some special guests with us tonight. As everybody knows, I've been pimping out, along with some other people, the charity event that just ran and ended up closing this weekend. And so with us, we have some special guests. I'll let everybody introduce themselves. I'll just say that we've got Matt and Trey and John. And who else do we have in?
Melissa.
Hi, Melissa. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. Didn't see you there, so I apologize. I don't know everybody that's in here. We want to find out how this all started. I believe, Matt, you got bored and did what?
Every year during the holidays, I like to do something just to make other people smile. That's the best Christmas gift I can ever get, is just making other people happy. And start talking about it in Clan CLF about doing a clan event and just raising a few bucks for a charity. We got a lot of insight from our admins. And with Trey's help, we made it just this huge event. We were promoting it every single day. Just like from there, we touched base with a lot of really influential people in the Mafia Wars world, including yourself, Chester, Pete as well, and a few other people that really helped us out. John Sweeney, I can't thank the guy enough for doing a couple of shows on his podcast as well.
So how much did we end up raising? I know that it went to two places, the St. Jude's and also the Wounded Warrior. So how much did we get to donate?
The total balance as of right now is $1,637.96, being split 50-50 between the two charities.
Cool. Let me ask this. It was $2 a player. So how do you get the 96 cents?
There were a few people that donated Australian dollars and people that donated Great British pounds. The conversion gives a few.
Cool.
How'd you guys pick the Wounded Warriors and the St. Jude's Hospital?
Originally, we started off, we had about maybe 10 or 12 different charities. So we just started narrowing it down between the admins, and we decided, holidays are all about the kids. It's something that every child loves, being able to celebrate the holidays. And let's face it, if you're at St. Jude's Hospital, every single holiday is more precious to you than to anybody else that doesn't have to be there. For some kids, this might be their last Christmas, or it might be their last New Year's, or they might not even make it that far. It might be their last night with their parents.
Absolutely.
And then
what about
we were looking at we were looking at the other options that we had up, and I know everybody out here likes having the freedoms they have throughout the day, and there are men and women that are volunteering their lives or volunteering parts of their bodies so that we can have these rights, and they don't always get a fair shake from Uncle Sam. And, you know, it's up to other programs that will stand by them and help them out with whatever they need in any way, shape, or fashion that they can. To me, it's a way of saying thank you very much for everything you've done and everything you're doing for our country. And
exactly. Try to give back a little.
Absolutely. So that is absolutely fantastic. So on that, I do want to say this. I heard that there were some people that had no idea what to do when they join in on one of these events. Some of them, actually, people that are like this, they get in and they want to donate and they want to play, and then they're like lost. We actually have one of those on the Informant podcast. Goes by the name of Pistol Pete. So, Pete, what happened to you?
I can write bookmarklets. I just can't figure out how to get in wars. I don't know.
So we're trying to teach you.
I got added to one of the rooms, the Mafia Wars Players for Charity. And then when I got in there, I said hello and, tried to mingle a little bit. But then I wasn't sure what was really going on. And since I am a part of a family, the family of one of Spockholm, but, or two, if Martin actually uses the same tag, the problem I had was I didn't know where to go. I wasn't sure what to do. I mean, I've heard about, the family fighting spreadsheets and stuff like that, but I had no idea that I needed to ask for that, who to ask for that. So that's the one thing that was probably kind of caught me off guard during this event was, I didn't know where to start. And I don't know if there were other people out there like that.
I was like that too. So don't feel alone.
So what I think that we should do is we should give people a little bit of tips, or just a couple of tips on what do you do when you get in. Okay, so you go in and you donate. Usually somebody will say, great, thanks for donating. Here's some additional information that'll help you out. And with that, they would, one, get you a spreadsheet. So early on in Mafia Wars, people weren't using spreadsheets. Mig started doing spreadsheets and started automating processes. There's some other places out there now that help out with automating these lists. And so that's the very first thing that you should do is if you don't find one, if it's not volunteered to you, ask. You're usually added to a group on Facebook. You're added to something on Skype, depending on if you're in that. Maybe it's a group chat on Facebook also. So ask for a spreadsheet. The second thing to do is to bookmark the spreadsheet. Mm-hmm. And the reason why is because I pulled a noob and I had to ask for it twice. Me, I've got an excuse, all right? I wasn't around. So I went in and I had to ask for it twice. I had fun, jumped in. The third thing is be prepared to be iced. If you don't like to be iced, don't jump into an event like this. We'll do the round table here. Trey, how are you doing, my friend?
Good, Chester. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. So how did you think that the event went?
I think the event went very well. I just can't believe how many people are just having fun and pulling together for such great causes. We had a lot of admins and people that put forth a lot of legwork to get this thing set up, along with you and John Sweeney and Joanne setting everything up and advertising, and Melissa spamming everyone, Matt putting together some ideas, and Carlos Flores and Kevin, they did all the spreadsheet stuff. My hat's off to everybody that helped and chipped in. I got Brenda Worth is right now as we speak. She's doing some gifting so that we can do all that. Nice. And we had some sponsors along with Informant Podcasts and the Facebook and Zynga Podcasts. We had CLF, their clan chipped in some loot, and Brenda Worth and Jessica Jensen, the godmothers over there, they both chipped in and did some help. Axe donated 10,000 loot items, and also my group, Pinnacle War Group, we also donated 10,000 loot items, 100 lotto sets, and some other stuff. So we've done quite a bit. We're giving out almost 40,000 loot items, lottos, weapon parts, car parts, armory parts, diamond collections, other rare collections, and thanks to John Sweeney and Joanne, we had several Mafia Wars gift cards that we were able to give out. The best part that I like about this is every cent that we raised goes directly to these two charities. No one's getting any compensation for the time or efforts that we put in. We're doing this just because we care and we love doing this type of stuff.
Exactly. You all did a great job. This has been a lot of fun this weekend.
Melissa, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
What was your job? Just annoying people? Is that what he was saying before?
That is correct. I'm great at that. I just went to a lot of different war pages and clans, and I pimped out the charity. And I made it to one. RIP. They're doing a charity event right now for Toys for Tots, and I told them that I'd donate to them if they came and joined us and donated to us, and they did.
Awesome.
So,
That is awesome.
Well
done, and thank you for doing that. John Sweeney, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. How are you, sir?
I am doing well. It's been a while. So I want
Yes,
to say hello again to you, and thank you. And what all did you get to do for this? I know that Trey said that you were able to donate some of the gift cards, and I know that you were advertising this like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah, I did my usual pimping job. I wrote a blog. I wrote a column with Examiner.com. I mean, I got the word out to numerous celebrities and radio stations. But overall, I think the event went well. Everyone did a fabulous job. Everyone's tired. Everyone just donated their time, and they showed their love for these two charities, which is just unbelievable.
It's beautiful.
Well, my hats are off to all of you. Matt, thanks for having the idea. Trey, Melissa, John, thank you all for going out there and spending your time and making this thing a success. So thank you guys, and we'll see you probably the next time.
You bet. Thanks for everything.
And so that's all I've got for family life. Does anybody have any shout-outs besides me?
Do you have a shout-out?
I always have a shout-out, but I was just going to wait, and I was going to be the gentleman and see if you ladies had one.
Well, actually, I want to remind everybody once again that on the 21st of December, we are having a Mafia meet in Denver, Colorado at the Jet Lounge Hotel in Lodo. And as far as I know, we have Pete coming. We have Nate from Zynga, and it's possible that we're going to have the Loot Lady. Right, Jennifer, maybe?
I'm going to try, but it's so close to the holidays, I'm not sure.
It's going to be tough for everyone, but the more the merrier, and I hope that all of you can be there.
Absolutely. So, Jan, you have anybody you want to shout out to?
Sure, I'd like to give a shout out to Jose Perez. I'm not sure if anyone's heard of him, but he writes a lot of notes, and they're really good. He does a lot with links, and he explains things very well. So he's been tagging me in his new notes so then I can get them on my blog. So I appreciate that. And he does a really good job.
Nice.
So thanks to him. And I'll do my shout out next before we throw it over to Mr. Pete. I wanted to do a shout out to all the Bmlets out there and everybody that had anything to do with the charity event that just ran. So thanks to all of you that got into that, and thanks to all of you that put it on. Pete!
Yes, sir.
You got any?
Yeah, I do. I'm going to do a shout-out to all the Spocklets, or should we call them Spocktonians?
Spocklets.
Spocklets or Spocktonians, or they're from Vulcan, so then would that make them Spockgulkins or something? Anyway, and then I want to shout out to Martin Hedman, the man behind the mask at Spockholm. Kudos to him, and appreciate all his help as we've been doing what we've been doing, and we've been doing a good thing. So just wanted to give him a quick shout out.
Cool.
Great show, guys. We had lots of information as usual. If anybody ever has any questions or whatever, they can reach us on the web at informantpodcast.com. Certainly send us an email if you need to at tip@informantpodcast.com. And then you can always reach us on the Rant line, which is always interesting. Jana, you want to tell them that number?
The number is 707-TIP-6852.
This is the Informant Podcast, the place where family is first.
I wanna cross, get 'em crashing to the brave new world. I wanna ride.